Oh, hey guys, what's going on? It's Massive Joe's Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome Raw Review for the viewers at home today on an all-new, complete stimulant-based pre-workout from our good friends at Australian supplement company Flex Performance. Elevate in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. This tub is rather small and the nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go deep in this here Flex Performance Elevate pre-workout. Luckily, big-ass nutritional information panel appearing on screen so you guys can play along at home. Starting from the top, servings per container, 20/40. So what we're dealing with here, guys, we got 40 scoops per tub and 22 scoop full serves per tub. It's a 20/40. We're used to seeing it by now. In terms of what a full 2-scoop serving is made up of, well, first and foremost, it's 22 total grams. If we do a quick summation, a quick addition across the 18 active ingredients, we could quickly discover that there's 17.7401 grams of actives in a 22-gram 2-scoop serve. So we're dealing with 81% active ingredients and only 19% flavors, sweeteners, colors, stabilizers, and everything else non-active, which is fantastic. We love seeing above 80% actives. And that's a massive serve. 22 grams. You guys will see when I pull the scoop out across 18 active ingredients. In terms of what the 18 actives are made up of, guys, as always, Supplement Simplified is where you guys want to go. Link is down in the description box if you want to learn any more about any of the ingredients that I'm about to dive into. We're going to break it down into the 5 effects we look for in complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. Effect number 1, muscle pumps and improved blood flow to working muscles. Effect number 2, muscle power and strength. Effect number 3, muscular endurance. Effect number 4, nootropics, mental focus and elevation in mood. And effect number 5, energy. Let's break it down one by one, viewers. Muscle pumps, improve blood flow. We have a massive dose of L-Citrulline. 6,000 milligrams in a 2-scoop serve. It's a precursor to arginine, which in its own right is a precursor to nitric oxide, going to boost those nitric oxide levels for better muscle pumps, nutrient delivery to working muscles, in combination with a massive dose of agmatine sulfate, which I like to refer to as a pump prolonger, stops the breakdown of excess nitric oxide. So we've got some good synergism between these 2 ingredients. We get a big tick there for effect number 1, muscle pumps and improved blood flow. Effect number 2, muscle power. We have one ingredient that is specific for muscle power in here. That is betaine anhydrous in a very nice dose, 2.5 milligrams. Precursor to creatine, obviously creatine, precursor to ATP, going to help with muscle power and strength. We also have the electrolytes in here, sodium citrate, potassium citrate, magnesium citrate, which they're going to kind of cover 3 effects. Muscle pumps improve muscle pumps first and foremost because they do help with the muscle pump effect. They're also going to help with strength and power, and specifically they're going to help with endurance, which is where I've really kind of placed them. But I think we get half a tick for muscle power. I don't think I can give a full tick just with the dose of betaine anhydrous and some electrolytes in there, so I'm going to go half a tick. So 1.5 out of 2. Effect number 3, muscular endurance. Here we go. Full clinical dose of beta-alanine, 3.2 grams. Massive dose of taurine in here as well, 1.5 grams, plus the sodium citrate, plus the magnesium citrate, plus the potassium citrate in decent doses. So we do get a big tick here for muscular endurance in terms of the formulation. Effect number 4, nootropics, mental focus, elevation in mood. Huge dose of L-tyrosine, a precursor to L-dopa, which is a precursor to dopamine. Very nice. We have a huge dose of alpha GPC, which is a precursor to acetylcholine, which is going to help with mental focus, 600 milligrams. Woof. We have a solid dose of L-Theanine in there as well, and a solid dose of Huperzine A, which is going to stop the breakdown of excess acetylcholine, going to really kind of prolong that mental focus as well. No doubt about it, we get a tick for nootropic effect as well. So we are at 3.5 out of 4. Effect number 5. Energy, of course, with complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. All right, we've got a lot going on here. We have a very nice dose of natural caffeine from green coffee bean extract, 200 milligrams with a 98% caffeine yield. So that's going to put us at 196 off the top of my head, milligrams of natural caffeine. We then have a very solid dose of theacrine, 150 milligrams. We have 80 milligrams of theobromine. We have 75 milligrams of Infinergy, which is dicaffeine malate, which yields about 70% caffeine. So total caffeine, we're at 252, 253 in a 2-scoop dose. So nothing too crazy in there. And then we also have the maximum allowable Australian dose of synephrine from bitter orange extract, 60 milligrams yielding 50% synephrine, so 30 milligrams of synephrine. No doubt about it, we get a big tick here for energy as well. So we're at 4.5 out of 5 when it comes to formulation, guys. That's a big score for a complete stimulant-based pre-workout, especially an Australian-made complete stimulant-based pre-workout. I will also add that it contains estrogen in a full clinical dose, 50 milligrams, which is going to help with absorption of the other 17 active ingredients. Happy to see estrogen in there because there's a whole lot going on in this pre-workout, guys. In terms of what it's missing, I think if we're going to really pick this to shreds from a pumps perspective, and that's what we like to do in raw reviews, we like to pick formulas to shreds, play devil's advocate for a little bit. From a pumps perspective, definitely the one missing element is nitrates, some sort of nitrate, arginine nitrate, creatine nitrate, any sort of nitrate, so we can get nitrates in there in combination with the citrulline and the agmatine is really going to round out that pump formula. Also, when it comes to pumps and power and endurance, glycerol is an ingredient that we could add to this formula. It's going to help with hyperhydration of muscle cells, muscle cell volume as well. From a muscle power perspective, and remember muscle power is where we only gave half a tick, it would benefit from creatine hydrochloride, creatine magna power, creatine magnesium chelate, elevate ATP, peak ATP, something else in combination with the betaine to add some synergism for muscle power. Muscular endurance, we could also add some Pico-2. An ingredient like that would go nicely with the beta-alanine and the taurine and the electrolytes. From a nootropic perspective, I really wouldn't add anything. And from an energy perspective, I really wouldn't add anything as well. So it is a very solid formula on paper that ticks 4.5 out of 5 boxes. We'll see how that plays out in terms of effects because I've been using this pre-workout quite consistently over the last 3, almost 4 weeks now, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it. But before we get to the effects, it comes in 4 flavors. Viewers at home, it comes in grape bubble gum, it comes in the green apple, it comes in icy lemonade, and it comes in the tub that I've been using at the moment, my personal tub of the newest flavor, as a matter of fact, raspberry slushy. Infamous massive Joe's taste and mixability test about to go down. Guys, I have an MJ shaker with 400 mils of water in here, and I'm going to follow the instructions. So it says, mix 2 scoops with 790 ml of water or 1 scoop with 395 ml of water. So I said 400. It is actually, I did weigh it out. It's exactly 395 because I like to follow the instructions, viewers. So we're going to go 1 scoop in the 395 ml of water. I will also point out I did a little scoop weigh test, and I can tell you guys that Flex have done an exceptional job with the volume of their scoops because one perfectly level scoop, which looks exactly like that, is pretty much exactly 11 grams. So they have bang on with a level scoop. We're going to take that level scoop, we're going to drop it in our MJ shaker with 395 mils of water. Throw the lid on, a few flicks of the wrist. I'll show you guys how it mixes. Pour it in my double wall glass, baby. Refresh my memory. on how the raspberry slushy tastes, which I trained on it this morning, so the memory does not need much refreshing. But here you go, guys. As you can see, it mixes pretty much perfectly. If I was to leave it there in the glass on the table for a few minutes, you will get some sinkers. You will get some settling. So I would go so far as to say turbo ball is required for this here Flex Performance Elevate pre-workout. Let me refresh my memory on how the raspberry slushy flavor tastes, man. The flavors across the board, probably the best way I can describe them is they're pleasant. They're not too strong. They're not too sweet. They're very easy to drink, which for someone like me that trains first thing in the morning, I don't want flavors that blow my head off. Just a really pleasant tasting pre-workout. I will point out that you do get some bitterness come through in the aftertaste, and I think that's a function of the big dose of teacrine, because it's that teacrine bitterness that's coming through. It doesn't hit you right at the start. Right at the start, it's really good. When it hits the back of your throat, the back of your palate, there is that aftertaste that comes through. If you do want it sweeter, stronger, obviously just use less water, right? If I did 400 mils of water and 2 scoops, it's gonna be twice as strong and twice as sweet, but you are gonna get twice the aftertaste as well. But across the board, if I had to rank the flavors, I think the raspberry slushy is definitely the best. Great bubble gum, green apple in a close tie for second, and you guys know I don't get down with citrus, so the icy lemonade is not one of my favorite flavors, that's for sure. In terms of the effects, so I've been training on this. This will be week number 4, and it's midweek of week number 4. So almost a full month training on this Elevate pretty much exclusively. And for most of my workouts, I've been training on the full 2 scoop dose. Fortunately for me, the caffeine is not, a stupid amount of caffeine where it blows my head off and I have to kind of underdose all the other ingredients because it's just too strong in the stimulant effect. 253 total milligrams of caffeine, most of it coming from natural caffeine in a full 2 scoop serve. So my experience that I'm about to tell you guys about is on the full 2 scoop maximum dose. Muscle pumps are very good and very long lasting. The muscle pumps on Elevate are fucking great, just really great and consistent as well. Consistently good, long lasting for the whole workout, regardless of what you're training. Muscle power is noticeable, but it's not exceptional. I wouldn't take this pre-workout if I was looking for a lot of muscle power. If I was trying to be as strong as I could be in the gym, if I was trying to set PBs, if I was trying to break PBs, it's not a pre-workout that excels when it comes to muscle power, and it's not surprising when you look at the formula. Endurance is very, very good. This is the sort of pre-workout when you combine the endurance ingredients and the energy ingredients that you can just train and train and train. It doesn't pick you up and drop you halfway through your workout. It is just smooth energy, smooth endurance. As long as you want to train, you will keep training on the Elevate. The endurance is an exceptional effect in this pre-workout. When it comes to mental focus and mood, the mental focus is really, really good. It is really good, and it's a really nice balance between the focus and the energy. The mood is there, but once again, it's not exceptional. It's not the sort of pre-workout where you walk into the gym, you feel $1 million, you just feel really good. It's not that sort of pre-workout. It's definitely more focused on the mental focused aspect of nootropic and very well balanced with the energy. Speaking with the energy, smooth, long-lasting, consistent are the 3 ways I would describe the energy. It's not the sort of pre-workout that hits you and jacks you up and then also dumps you. Obviously, things that go up must come down. It's not that sort of pre-workout. The energy comes on very smooth. It comes on very consistently, and it lasts and lasts and lasts. It is a really nice pre-workout to train on when it comes to the elevation in energy effect, which is something I'm big on. I hate pre-workouts that are so fucking strong that I can't take the full clinical serve and get the full clinical doses of all the other ingredients. I have to dose it down because there's too many stims, and then I miss the pumps, the power, the endurance, the nootropics. This is the sort of pre-workout that I can train on, the full 2-scoop serve, the energy is spot on, and then I get to experience the full nootropic effect, the full muscle pump effect, the full endurance effect, and the full muscle power effect. It is a fucking brilliant pre-workout. That is the best way I can put it. It is just a very well formulated, very synergistically formulated pre-workout that you guys are just gonna absolutely love training on. No matter what you're training, no matter how you train, it is very versatile and just an absolute blast to train on. That's really that's really the best way I can put it. It is one of these pre-workouts that is going to be in my rotating top 5 of complete stimulant-based pre-workouts for a very long time, and a pre-workout that I can continue to come back to when I know I want pumps, I want endurance, I want mental focus, and I just want consistent, long-lasting energy that is going to stick with me for as long as I want to train. In terms of what it compares to, actually, you know what? Before we go in terms of what it compares to, because there are 2 pre's that I want to stack this up against. In terms of the side effects, there's a couple of things to be aware of here, guys. 18 active ingredients, 22 gram serve. Best not to take it on an empty stomach because there's a lot going on in there. It's probably going to upset your stomach. Speaking of upsetting your stomach, a massive dose of agmatine in here as well. A full gram of agmatine. Just beware that for some people, it is going to have the possibility of causing gastrointestinal upset, which is why I say don't take it on an empty stomach. Get a little bit of food in your system and then go the full 2-scoop serve. In terms of stackability, it's going to stack best with stim-free pre-workouts. You really don't need to stack it with anything, to be honest. It's all here. It's all in the Elevate. But if you did want to stack it to boost up pumps or power or endurance or whatever it is going to stack best with stim-free pre-workouts. Obviously, don't stack it with a stimulant pre-workout. You're just going to throw that balance of nootropic effect and energy effect off that is just so beautifully put together in this Elevate. One thing in terms of stacking with stim-free pre-workouts, once again, beware of the agmatine. Best not to stack it with any other pre-workout that contains agmatine, because when you start going over a gram up towards 2 grams, it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna mess your stomach up and have all sorts of issues with gastrointestinal upset. What does it compare to? So I wanna take Elevate and I wanna compare it against 2 American complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. Arguably, 2 of the best formulated, most complete stimulant-based pre-workouts we have seen thus far. Both of them, in separate raw reviews, got 5 out of 5 ticks when it comes to the 5 effects that we look for in complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. On one hand, Core Fury, Australian version. On the other hand, hostility. Let's start with Core Fury. The pumps in Core Fury and Elevate are similar. The power is better in Core Fury than it is in Elevate. The endurance across Fury and Elevate is similar. The mental focus, I feel, is better in Elevate than it is in Fury. The mood and feeling of well-being across both of them are similar. So Fury takes the cake when it comes to power. Elevate takes the cake when it comes to mental focus. Across the other effects, they're very, very similar. Energy in Fury is more intense, but not as balanced as Elevate. The total amount of caffeine in Fury, in my personal opinion, is pushing it a little bit too far, and most of that caffeine is coming from synthetic caffeine anhydrous as well, whereas most of the caffeine coming from Elevate is natural caffeine, which has a completely different effect to synthetic caffeine. Less flavors to choose from in Fury, only 3 compared to the 4 in Elevate. Across both Fury and Elevate, the flavors are very good. Elevate just does have that bitter aftertaste coming through. Same price across both of them for the same number of serves. So it really depends. Do you prefer muscle power? Do you prefer mental focus? Do you want energy that's more harder hitting or energy that's more balanced? And that's going to help you decide between Core Fury Australian version and Flex Performance Elevate. When it comes to hostility, which is one of the best formulated complete stimulant-based pre-workouts ever in the history of pre-workouts. Let's see how it stacks up. The pumps are better in hostility, no doubt about it. The power is better in hostility, no doubt about it. The endurance across both is very similar, as too is the mental focus. The mental focus ingredients, I think they're actually exactly the same, so very similar. The mood and feeling of well-being across the two products are very similar as well. So hostility takes the cake for pumps and power. Across the other effects, very similar. When it comes to energy, very well balanced in both. Hostility is just a little stronger. It hits a little harder. It lasts a little longer. It takes you up to a little bit of a higher elevated state. It's just as balanced as Elevate, but it's kind of like dialed up just a little bit. So I would say hostility probably takes the cake when it comes to energy as well. 4 flavors to choose from in both. I think the flavors in Elevate are a little better across the board than they are in hostility. Interestingly enough, they both have the bitter aftertaste, which is probably ties into my theory about it coming from teocrine, because they both contain teocrine as well. That being said, you are paying a lot more for hostility. So for the same number of scoops, the same number of serves, sorry, not the same number of scoops, the same number of serves, because hostility is 20 scoops, 20 serves. Elevate is 40 scoops, 20 serves. It's $20 more per tub for hostility. So you are getting better pumps, better power, better energy, but you're paying 25% more for it. So it really comes down to really value for money and whether that represents value for money for you. Who is the Elevate best for? Guys, let me tell you, everyone who's looking for an exceptional would be proper English, an exceptional pre-workout supplement. 4 out of 5 ticks when it comes to the 5 effects we look for in complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. Very good value for money, very good flavors, very consistent. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with this Flex Performance Elevate complete stimulant-based pre-workout. Last but not least, in terms of price and value for money, you're looking at $79.95 for the 40 scoops, 20 full 2-scoop serves. It breaks out at $2 per scoop, $4 per serve. Listen, no matter how you cut it, for a pre-workout that's getting 4.5 out of the 5 effects that we look for in complete stim-based pre-workouts, represents very, very good value for money. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MJ Fitness YouTube channel. Guys, don't forget to turn your post notifications on your mobile, your cell phone, your desktop PC, your smart TV, and whatever other device you are watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new Raw reviews and everything else we've got happening here on the channel. Guys, that is Raw Review on the all-new Flex Performance Elevate Complete Stimulant-Based Pre-Workout in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.